Julie, of course, the most obvious of these is Radio Shack. The company itself has said it is in trouble.
Yes.
Do we think it's going to be around in 2015?
The question is, will it be in bankruptcy and be around? Will it have been liquidated? It's sort of unclear how much longer it has. I mean, the thing is with these retailers that are sort of long suffering, and the reason that so much focus is on them, they're so visible, right? We all shop or not shop at them, but we know the names. But these retailers die a long, slow death. So for many of them, the question is not will they survive, it's just how long do they have. And Radio Shack, by the way, sort of suffered another blow. Just in the past couple days, it came out with a filing and said it's under investigation by the Labor Department over its 401k practices. And apparently a number of lawsuits have been filed against the company. The department, the Labor Department that is, wrote Radio Shack last month to say it would investigate its 401k plan from 2011 on to ensure that it was following U.S. rules for retirement plans. I mean, talk about adding insult to injury. Yeah. For Radio Shack, which is already doing so.
I don't know. We obviously know they need to change their name to the Drone Zone if they want to get anybody to actually show up. But it's hard for me to reconcile the fact that they're probably going to have to file for Chapter 11th with the fact that they could afford to put out that splashy Super Bowl commercial.
Well, I mean, isn't that what companies do right before they go under? We remember the amazing Super Bowl commercials of Pets.com.
Yes. I mean, it's sort of a last gasp, if you will. I mean, it's interesting. We haven't gotten a lot of numbers from them during the holiday season, but we did get some commentary on Thanksgiving from Joe Magnaca, who's the CEO. He says retail comparable store sales in our U.S. corporate stores, he's talking about during the three-day Thanksgiving period, were up 35% over the three-day period. Mobility was down, that is mobile phone-related sales, down 27%, primarily due to constrained inventory. An analyst at Bloomberg Intelligence, a credit analyst, Noel Heber, points out that the stores were not open on Thanksgiving this year, and they were open on Thanksgiving last year, so you're not really looking at a comparable period.
I also think long-term, when consumer habits change, there's not much you can do unless you're willing to radically rethink what the store is supposed to do. I think, you know, the best Radio Shack is the one on Massachusetts Avenue in Cambridge, Massachusetts, because it's right next to MIT, and it's got this massive section in the back that's got all the transistors and all the actual things that you used to be able to buy at Radio Shack. The problem is with Radio Shack is that people don't make things anymore. People at MIT do. There's a reason to have a Radio Shack there. For the rest of America, there really isn't.
Right. Well, one retail veteran I spoke to a long time ago said, think about the creation of a retailer. And if your question is, would this be created today? Would someone go out and say, I'm going to open this thing called Radio Shack today?
Or Sears.
Or Sears, for that matter.
Or Loehmann's even, although I'm surprised Loehmann's did actually go bankrupt this year. Julie, is the bottom line that there is just too much retail out there and that we are inevitably going into a future where we are going to need to have fewer, smaller
Yes, definitely.
stores?
I mean, overstored is the word that retail execs throw around all of the time. So the ones that are out there, like an Abercrombie, have been shrinking. And then overall, the number of different retailers you have had out there are certainly shrinking as well. You mentioned Sears. JCPenney is another one that we've talked about for quite some time. Things there seem to have stabilized to some degree. And when you talk about Sears, Eddie Lampert appears to have a plan. Perhaps they're going to create a separate REIT to hold some of the stores and lease them back. But does it have value as a retailer? Would you create a Sears today?
That's financial engineering. That's not actually football.
Yeah.
And also, we said we came into this saying it's going to be the best holiday sales growth in a couple of years. I'm interested to see the return rate.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. You see all these numbers for the holiday season. They're all estimates at this point.